Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. As we begin this video, take a moment with me now to clear your space and invite in a sense of lightness and positivity. Allow yourself to settle and perhaps even close your eyes gently with a soft gaze. Imagine a gentle gold light surrounding you, flowing from above, down through the crown of your head. Feel this warm, radiant energy, filling every cell of your being, washing away any tension, any negativity, any energy that no longer serves you. With each exhale, release anything heavy or stagnant. Feel it drifting away, dissolving into the light. With each inhale, draw in fresh, vibrant energy, filling you with peace, clarity, and renewed vitality. Set the intentions now for this space and for yourself to be filled with positive energy and information with love and light from Spirit. Know that you are safe, you are supported, and you are open to receiving all the good that is meant for you. Take one more breath. As you exhale, gently bring your awareness back to your video. Here's the set expectations for your reading today. We'll ask the questions of the life lesson involved in the situation, maybe get their side of the story and how you can grow from this, the main challenges, the bright side, any urgent messages for you, and exactly how you'll get them back. Will they return? I've prepared this very special reading just for you. It is handpicked and divinely guided messages directly from Spirit, inspired by your question, will your ex return? I want you to know that you are so special, and this message was prepared only with you in mind. When you're ready, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and trust your intuition to guide you to the path that has a message for you. I'm going to show you your selection and give you a little bit of information about the crystal. If you just can't wait, the timestamps are in the comments and the description box if you'd like to jump ahead. Otherwise, join me now for going over your card selections. Each of your card selection also has additional oracle and tarot cards that will be included in your personalized reading. You have pre-shuffled out the Illuminator's Amulet to answer your questions, so set the expectation now. Each of your group has a personalized bonus card that will be revealed at the end of your reading. Please don't skip ahead. We don't want to miss the message or any advice Spirit has on just exactly how this process is going to work for you. Pile 1, you guys have the Hecatomb Diamond and Soul Shift Oracle. Purifying, clarifying, and high frequency, Herkimer acts like a spiritual amplifier, cutting through illusions and helping the truth to surface. Group 2, you have the Rose Quartz and Star Code Astro Oracle. Gentle, heart-centered, but also tied to destiny and timing through astrology. Rose Quartz soothes pain and reopens the heart chakra, while the Star Code deck links to love story and cosmic cycles. Pile 3, you guys have the Pink Amethyst, Crescent Moon, and the Glyph Oracle. Mystical, intuitive, dreamy, Pink Amethyst carries softer heart healing than Rose Quartz. Paired with the Crescent Moon, it suggests hidden truths and subconscious patterns. The Glyph Oracle adds symbolic, archetypal messages. Pile 4, you have White Howlite, Reiki Egg, and Reflections Oracle. Calming, grounding, restorative, the Reiki Egg amplifies healing energy and connection to spirit guides. The Reflection Oracle suggests self-examination and mirroring. Now let's get started with Pile 1. Welcome back, my beautiful group ones. If you did skip past the introduction, I'm going to briefly run over your crystal and card selection. So again, you guys have the Hecatomb Diamond, one of my favorites, and it amplifies this connection and what you're trying to manifest. It also helps with cutting through illusions so we can get to the bottom of how to rectify the situation or if it even needs to be rectified according to your soul purpose. Now, soul contracts likely being revealed, and whether this reunion serves your higher path or if a soul shift is to occur, we'll go through that, awakening the truth so that we can release any anxiety or questions, to get rid of possible false hope and or work to regain the connection. Okay. The intentions were set. I went over this in the intro as well. We're going to ask Spirit the lesson in the situation, get their side of the story. How can we grow from this? The main challenge, the bright side, urgent messages for you, and how we get it back. Will they return? Okay. So those were the intentions that were set. You also have your amulet card that was pre-shuffled. So set your intentions. I have shuffled out answers from Spirit, cut and clear. Okay, we're going to go over your love story, but cut and clear. There's a message on the back of this card, and don't you just skip to the back of it. Okay, because that would be crazy. Okay, so this first we'll start with, okay, you wanted to stay? We'll start with your card selection, and then we'll go through your reading, which I have additional cards and oracles for you. So offering wanted to stay. I love the offering card because it points to receiving something. There may be something that a person wants to give you. And also it tells us if this truly no longer serves us, it could be something we have to sacrifice in order to reach our higher selves, in order to get what it is that we actually want. But I feel like for you, group one, there's just something in the alignment of like equal give and take on, what you're willing to give, and what, it's like what they give, what you give, what needs to be let go of that could help the situation. Okay. So I'll keep it right there because it wanted to stay and it's so pretty. I'm going to shuffle out 2 additional cards. We'll talk about them and we'll move forward with the intentions. I saw this one too. It was right behind it. That's crazy. This card talks about facts. Oh my God. Y'all just want the truth. It says observation. How they're so tiny. Maybe it's hard. Okay. How do you really feel is a factor. And I'll let you see it. And facts is like right in the center. These are 2 circles coming together. So that's a really good sign. They're coming together. It's like how someone sees it, how the other person sees it, and the facts are in the middle. So Spirit is going to help me with that for you guys today. And I think that that's super cool. It was so tiny. So it's like something that may be hard for you or that person to see, because I had to just like really get in there. Okay. The next card we have. That's crazy. I really did have to get in there. I think that's what's being offered up. We also have observe. See, again, observe, react, inquire, and respond. So is it our reaction? Is it how we respond to the things that we observe, how we communicate those things? Or do a list. I do that. I love spirituality. I am such a spiritual person, but I love to make a list of the pros and cons. So Spirit may have that same advice for you guys. And before we move forward with your other cards, I just want you to see it because I think it's so cool that you have offering and then you have you 2 coming together. And it's like, wait to respond because maybe there'll finally be some communication. So before we jump into our reaction, it's just like observe things first. And I think that that's super cool. Okay. Now your additional cards that we have for your first question, the lesson in this situation. What I like about this for you guys is the separation could just be temporary. This person is setting out to find themselves, right? Whether they're wanting to be better for you or for themselves, they're not just recklessly, carelessly, abandoning or avoiding the situation. And I did intuitively get, for some of you, children may be involved, but this person is trying to find like themselves, and maybe they found themselves initially in you. Maybe that relationship or what happened when you guys broke up or separated kind of like pushed them. Something you said, Spirit said something you said, something that was done may have provoked them to like find themselves. Sometimes if there were issues that, you know, happened early in life or something personal that may not have to do with this relationship, sometimes, you know, it's just like I have to get my time back. There's something that I have to do alone before I can really just commit into marriage. And for some of you, it's marriage and engagement. So the lesson in this situation is finding yourself and your soul. And maybe this is your soulmate. Maybe that's how you guys found each other in the first place. If there are any abandonment issues, the Hermit also speaks to how we handle being ghosted or rejected, like how we handle being alone and how we follow our guidance. That's a tricky situation if you feel you have the love of your life and it's like this person or the situation was purposely put there to see what you would choose, what's best for you or how you feel about this person. Now, their side of the story, you have the Three of Discs. This could go many different ways, and we're going to pull some extra cards. But this is wholeness, okay? So their side of the story is how everything is connected and it all works together. For some of you, if there were disagreements that led to the separation, they don't see just their part. They see how everything ties in together. And I could see how that may frustrate you. Like that could be a tad, you know, troubling. Like I'm trying to tell you something. I want to tell you how I feel. And you don't see you. You just see the whole thing. And it's kind of hard for us to get somewhere if you're looking at it that way. So the observation and the responding, maybe that's why it's important. The reason why I said it's very interesting is because the Three of Discs is teamwork. Okay. And sometimes teamwork points to somebody getting a bigger piece of the pie or just doing less than someone else. Right. For those of you that may have had abandonment issues, early childhood development situations, it kind of points to how we try and resolve those matters through our relationships. And even though we are all connected, right, through source, it's about finding the comfort zone through the discomfort. Okay. Now, how can you grow from this? We have the Magician. So it's either way. And that's what I love about group one. Either way, you're going to learn more about what you want and what you don't want. You are going to be more magnetic because the shift in the shadow that you are now aware of and how you're able to work with it and through it is going to allow you to not attract situations that make you uncomfortable. You won't attract situations based on your fears or the shadow. I appreciate that this is the card that comes up when the one is involved. Literally. Did I say that wrong? So it's like you are the one for this person. I did see the Empress, and or they're the one for you. And I super duper love that. So group one, I don't get people's hopes up. I'm fully prepared to say whatever the truth is for all of you. But you guys do have a card that represents your one true love, and how it works. It's very believable, very tolerable. Sometimes you guys go into separation, but you are the couple or the two that always come back together. So you get a better version of this person than maybe the people did in the past. And I think that that's super cool. The Magician is going to be with whoever is there when they're finally ready. And I don't know if you want to wait for that, but I mean, it's still some sort of incentive to know that you are that type of person to them. So there's that. Now, the main challenge was very interesting because this is huge. For some of you, it could be oh, that's my bracelet. I was like, what is that on the table? For some of you, this could be as simple as instability. If there has been any trouble financially, emotionally, mentally, where someone isn't feeling great, thinking clearly, they don't have what it takes to fulfill the role of this Three of Pentacles, or maybe it was imbalanced where there was codependency, or I could just go down the list. But it's a big deal because it's a major arcana. So it's like the main challenge is the whole problem, and it's a big deal. It's something that affects you in other areas of your life as well as theirs. Now, I don't see a lot of cards that point to a temper, but there may be some separation from outdated beliefs. The main challenge is the separation within itself, especially for those of us that are on a journey of self-discovery and figuring out what it is that we truly want. So that's major, okay? The bright side. Now, I don't know, group one, if any other group is going to top you guys, okay? When I asked Spirit for the bright side, I got 2 or 3 cards, and then these made like so much sense. You actually got the marriage card. Because you have the 4 of Wands here, I had to take it, okay? Now, when I ask about the bright side, this is moving away from the chaos, okay? So I definitely appreciate that. If there are some of you where other parties are involved, I feel like that comes to shambles. That breaks down, whatever that is, because sometimes this card in relationships could point to, like I said, a team, a group, or multiple people. And so once that is shattered, because that's a big problem, things kind of find their resolve. The 6 of Swords is about the troubled waters. So if it's anger, if it's the reaction, if it's how we respond, it's getting through the turbulence of those emotions calmly. Okay, so I definitely appreciate that for you. The 2 of Wands just talks about optimism. Now, there are some, while I'm in this area, that may be watching this video, and it was a very magnetic connection. I feel like passionate or mostly physical, and someone may have wanted to change the demographic of the relationship to, for it to be something more. Okay. And it may be important for you to revisit what it is that you expect from the situation and be honest about if they're able to provide it for you. Now, for others of you, this path is also very close to the Hermit. Okay. The Hermit with the 2 of Wands just talks about something that was destined for you, and no one can do it but you. Okay, so your level of energy and optimism toward the situation is probably what keeps this connection the strongest. And before I even started the video, I heard Kelly Rowland in my head, and I think I'm gonna get to that card, but it was like love harder, because the amount of love that you have for them, like this true love, is what holds it together. So that may be important. If for any reason there are some of you that maybe it's a broken engagement, or you just know deep down, you don't have the strength to be the only one hanging on, or you just feel like the truth of the matter is it probably won't work. You have a partner that's better for you, but they're a little bit different. I think you may have had a stronger physical connection to this person, and this person who's better for you, the provider who is actually interested in commitment and marriage, they just may be different from your normal type. Okay, so that was interesting. Now, taking it back to the lesson in the situation, I feel that that's important. Some of you get crowned, you learn that lesson, and I feel you become the master of your own fate. And that magician over there. Okay. The 4 of Wands with this 3 of Discs, I feel like there's a fated event where the truth gets exposed. So if you're confused because someone isn't being honest, because that's the breakdown of the lie, this could happen at an event. because it does involve other people, and I don't know if they're going to be there, but it is fate. Let me try to cover her up, child. You have fate, a fated event, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune says that you have no control over this. This also says that there's no control in the situation, but you also have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant shows that there could be a breakup if you're in separation, asking if you guys are going to get back together and one or both of you are with someone else. The cards are pointing toward that situation crumbling, and maybe you guys are a better match. This could lead to marriage. Now, the belief systems that keep you guys apart, if someone isn't solid on monogamy or how you guys are going to share your finances or how family works, whatever beliefs and the people, the naysayers, whatever that energy may be that comes between you guys, it just says that this is a test of time to see how you guys work together in this situation. And if it hasn't happened yet, this is the event that's going to help someone really get into their master energy and whatever this soul lesson is. Okay. Now, the urgent message is finding the needle in the haystack. It also talks about your attention. So observe, pay attention, but there's something about receiving rewards. Spirit is saying that there's no options involved. I don't see the 7 of Cups. I don't see options. So those, like I said, that could be struggling with this teamwork, this monogamy energy, you are the chosen one. There are no other options. And this person will see you as that. But you have to also feel that way by yourself and pay attention to your thoughts and your energy. Okay. Go where you're celebrated and not just tolerated. Someone is going to be offering you their attention, though. They want to bring something to you. And I love that. And I think it's healthy because he's eating an apple. Now, how you get them back? This is insane. You literally got the Lovers, and the Lovers came out with the King of Swords. This talks about a choice and a decision. So I think staying firm and standing in your power once you set healthy boundaries to not allow anyone to play with that is definitely healthy choices and setting healthy boundaries and sticking to them. It also talks about taking charge. This person is probably not used to that. And you don't have to do it in an aggressive way. This is an intelligent and strategic way. Okay. If you're dealing with a person that is not as emotionally mature as you, this is just about being supportive, hanging in there and letting your love be the light for this relationship. So this is where I'm telling you in my mind, because it came out of nowhere. I heard the verse in the Kelly Rowland song, Love Harder. And I was like, I've never told anyone that before, especially when talking about an ex. The way to get this person back is to love harder. I was like, what? That's crazy. So let's go over a couple of oracle cards. The Wheel of Fortune is here. So having chance at the bottom of the deck. And I'm going to show you. This connects to the Hierophant with this liberation is the key to some beliefs. Okay. And we ain't going to go down the rabbit hole, but there's a belief, a preconceived belief that you or this person has. And that's the key. That's the needle in the haystack. How someone thinks, their mindset, because one of you or both of you are very diligent with how you want things to go and, stomping on your ground. Okay. Group 1, I think you're going to get lucky though. You have the luck card, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and this reunion may actually shock you because the Wheel of Fortune is over here by the Tower card. And I think that is super amazing. You also have origin. So this person, like I said about the Magician, always seems to find their way back to you. If you haven't experienced a breakup and a makeup, it's a separation that's temporary, because here is a breakup. Here's a separation. So if I'm talking to, multiple groups within group 1, if there was an actual breakup, it's like, okay, if let me slow down. An ex makes it a breakup.
But for some of you, it's not a breakup, it's a separation. So it's kind of hard to explain that. For some, where it's a clean cut because they weren't very monogamous, and you catch them doing something, or the truth comes out at some time in some place, that was the universe just thumping you, because maybe the signs we didn't see. So like, this is seeing, this talks about seeing and observing. And if we don't see it and make the necessary moves using our intelligence, or setting healthy boundaries and not letting them cross certain lines, which comes from self-love and facts, okay? It's like timing, the universe, it was destined, and it was rough, but it was necessary. Those that are just taking a break or are in separation, if someone felt the grass was greener on the other side, and then when the thought of actual marriage comes up, you pop back up in this person's mind, or when they're ready, because this is the one, but this could also be a very complicated person, where they're the one, but it's not it's just a perfect romantic tale. It is at the end of the day, but some of the things that you guys go through would be similar to like twin flames and those that may have soul contracts and stuff like that. It's a little bit deeper than the average people who just meet when they're out and about. So let's see if Spirit has anything else for us with the Soul Wanderers deck. I chose this for you guys because of the Wanderer over here. Future predictions kind of popped up a second ago, and it's coming back. I'm curious to see what it came with. Chance and liberation. So future predictions usually point to, it says conceal the light, and the Hermit follows the light. So it's like, okay, I think I'm getting old. I might need some reading glasses, child, because everything is little. Everything is so small. Okay. Future predictions. Here we go. So there is an occurrence, okay, that you felt will become a reality. You've manifested this, and I think it's just a little bit more complicated than you wanted it to be, because we're here and you consider them an ex at this point. So I get that. Now, you believed you could feel, hear, see the wheels of the universe in motion as it brought this event to life. You can now see that this prediction wasn't wrong. I love that. It's just not going to happen as you thought it would. Most of this occurrence is going to erode away in front of you, but it is going to take form into something much better than you previously had or hoped and imagined for. Place your trust in the path before you and believe in your own powers of manifestation. To feel a degree of disappointment and sadness that this somewhat incorrect prediction is natural and should be felt, lean into it and feel the loss of it and all you thought it would bring you. Allow it to wash over you. Then use it to, what does that say? Use it to reconfirm and rebuild. Spirit always has a plan. I'm going to shuffle out a few additional cards to see what we have. Oh, open, cleanse. You have open. So there's a new door that's going to open for this situation. I extremely love that. And a big stack of cards came out. I don't want to take all of them. I wanted to see if Spirit had something, specific, but maybe this is it. So you had a key previously, and now there are two keys, and it talks about protected. I feel that this, regardless of what you guys are going through, this connection or just you personally are protected from any harm. Okay. The relationship may be protected. Oh, okay. So look at that. The connection is protected because you are the master of your fate. If you want them back, baby, get them. That's why it was just like love harder. And see, I don't want to be one side and project. I just thought about it. I never really discussed the side of the possibility that some of you guys are listening lost a person, and I'm not going to say because of you, but it's like no one left you. Maybe it was something that you could have done differently. Okay. And it's like, are they ever going to take me back? And it's like, you can do this. They know that you're the best for them, but listen to the facts or what this person said or shared, because somebody in the situation sees the whole thing, which is great. That could be the problem if somebody can't connect the dots. But in addition to that, on the flip side, what also could be an issue is you coming to me telling me how you feel, and then I respond with how I feel, and then we just looking at each other like we have a problem. But I didn't acknowledge, how you felt. And so because I did that, you don't care how I feel type deal. But we have protected this. I want to put it here. And then we have because I was like, what? Let's talk about this tower over here. Cause you have caution. Oh, you have eyes. Okay. So let's see. What is, cleansing? Oh, okay. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Oh, okay. We belong together. You're the one for me. The luck card with the Wheel of Fortune, and the situation will be cleansed. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, the answer to your question, because I was very specific. I was like, we're going to do your whole love story. And I specifically, the last thing on my mind is, will they return? Right? For you, group 1, the answer is step back and reevaluate. And I think we just discussed that. That is so super cool. So I truly hope that it works. And like they say in Vegas, good luck. Group 2. As we get started with your reading, thank you guys and welcome back. In case you skipped the introduction, I wanted to show you the lessons, okay, the intentions that were set for your video today. So we're going to go through the lesson and the situation, get their side of the story, how you can grow from this, the main challenge, the bright side, any urgent messages for you, how to get them back if you want them, okay, and will they return? Okay, very clear, concise intentions. Now, if you didn't get your crystal interpretation, because I know sometimes we just click on the button and get ahead, and that's okay. Okay, you guys got the rose quartz, and maybe you're very familiar with the crystals. It's like I already know. So gentle, heart-centered, also tied to destiny and timing, okay, through astrology. So I think that's kind of cool. It soothes the pain and reopens the heart chakra, while the star code deck links to the love story, and it's like cosmic cycles. So I can't spoiler alert, but I'm very confident that this is going to be a very beautiful story, and a happy ending. I'll just say that. So this feels fated, and I feel like astrologically influenced. So I'll look for some of the zodiac signs, even though they're all surrounding, okay, this heart. It also talks about the blueprint of the soul, divine timing, and retrogrades. So the reconciliation could come in some of those points. Compassion, self-love, cosmic alignment, and whether the stars support the reunion may come up. That is what this deck helps with. So without further ado, we'll get started. Now, group 1, I heard a song. For you, group 2, I was like, Spirit, it's like all I have to do is click onto the video and say yes with this, because this is the Ace of Swords. So communication comes. I feel like whatever binds you guys, this sword is here. Whatever dragons, okay, we're fighting that led us to the breakup or separation, here is the Ace of Swords. So I love that. A new way of thinking, new communication. It also talks about protection. So this union is protected, and I love that. Okay, because when they get involved, nobody can really come in between that. So shout out to you guys. All right, I'll sit your crystal here, And we'll go ahead and get started with your reading to see what the beautiful Astro deck has in store for you. Okay. We have strong Gemini energy, and for some, the 11th house may be significant. Hold on. Because some of them have fallen. Now, the 11th house, I want to say really quick, is Aquarius. It also talks about hopes, dreams, and groups. So that's why you have community there. And we have clarity and solar calm. So there's some clarity that's going to come from this reading. It also says that this situation is going to have some sort of emotional healing. You guys may have some soul contracts and are healing some karmic wounds through each other that may have affected the relationship. So even if you guys are in separation, you're still doing the work according to the terms and conditions. And I think that that's super dope. So the number 16 on the clarity card tells me about some unexpected awakenings. Okay. And this clarity or this awakening leads to some sort of healing. We have showering right there. So I think that that's super cool. Now, to go through your first card, which is Gemini, and don't worry. Those of you that have Gemini in your charts or could be dealing with a Gemini or something significant happened in Gemini season, I know that you guys are like super excited, but for the remainder of you, don't be discouraged because it's not maybe it's not for me because my person isn't a Gemini or an air sign. It is symbolic at times. And it talks about twins. Now, twins are kind of like our twin flames. And so maybe that's why you were attracted to the Astro deck in the first place. Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks with humor in all forms of communication. So that's why we have community. This mutable air sign is ruled by Mercury and is connected to all aspects of, the world around us. But the purpose is to disperse ideas. So that may be significant. Words are at the heart of the issue for you, group 2. So that's very important. What did you say? I can just imagine. Listen is important. And talking to people is important, but mostly it was like the challenge of the situation is probably more complex than you think. So it's like if you have doubts about them returning or this union, it's because it's more complex or deeper than you think. Okay. Now, in addition to Gemini, we have, let's see what else we have. I want 2 more. We have, Chiron did come out. Spirit was like, I said what I said. Now, if you're not familiar with Chiron or where your Chiron sign is, there are hints, about where the wounds that may have attracted the challenge in this situation or in your life or whatever. So look to your natal chart. Look at the Chiron sign for you or your person, and it usually talks about specific wounds. Now, Chiron itself is the wounded warrior, so maybe that's why you had the Ace of Swords, and maybe there's heavy Gemini somewhere in your chart or your person's. And look, for some of you, it's like I'm definitely talking to or about a Gemini because you got first house at the bottom of the deck, or it's how you come off, and I get that a lot. That the sign that I am and how I come off is kind of different. So it's an archetype. Thank you, Spirit. It's more of an archetype. Now I'll take one more as my cards are all like that card flipped everything over. So the healing aspect of this is really significant. And you have transits that may be challenging. It's the number 55. I think the change, the reconciliation is going to come through one of the transits where you have just almost given up. Really, or you're in an energy like this. You see that? The Spirit said transits change things. Okay. So we're really going to look toward that. Now, if you want to get a little closer, because I want us to get cozy. Okay. We're going to pull up some and then get started with your answer cards for the intentions that were set. Okay, we already got some good news. So there's going to be a transit that's going to be like kind of magical or whatever. And somebody going to be linked over, bent over backwards, like, ooh, and it's like, cheer up. Okay. You may be shocked or surprised. I do see Sag at the bottom of the deck, and I also see the 8th house of mystery. I don't think it's symbolic to the horoscopes. I think that's just confirming this adventurous spontaneity of something you don't see coming. Okay. Now, the lesson in this situation, you are such a beautiful soul. And I feel that you're learning more about trusting your intuition. You are very, in a past life or just by nature, experimental. You may connect to or give chances to those that some won't. And that could have gotten you, in some sticky situations with partnerships and friends. But you're very beautiful and you're very gifted. However, you're most likely to collect the most energy or baggage subconsciously, which is why in this deck I see her pouring out her cup, right? Pouring out that subconscious energy. Maybe you guys have had trouble each lifetime, and this one is like we're on a physical plane in a practical way. We're gonna get this together, and it also transmute or changes you guys energetically. So maybe if you reincarnate again, you don't have to go through as much because you came into the physical to get some of that stuff out that causes what you all may attract in this situation. This is also Cancer energy because it's like the transit's here. So just be mindful of that. That's not a bad lesson. She is the maiden. So it's like she incarnates into this world to be experimental. She's also possibly the original soulmate to a partner, and you guys have multiple lifetimes together. Because when I see the like Queen of Cups, King of Cups, those are the soulmates that outside of this planet, that's the team. Okay. Now their side of the story, unless your mom did something, okay, I feel that it's more so connected intuitively. Let me say that they feel like you switched up, you changed, you turned your back on them. But honestly, okay, I just added the last part. It was more about somebody turning their back on somebody or switching up. But if you look closely, right, I'm not trying to just take your side over theirs, but if you look closely, this isn't her back turned. Her hair is just flipped over her face. So maybe you're unrecognizable. Something is unrecognizable, and that happens. Maybe someone's feelings changed and they just focused on doing something else, right? But at least they see you as like a spiritually gifted, beautiful person that is definitely wifey material. Okay. So I thought that was so crazy. I think it was more about the pictures and not the interpretation. But yeah, I was like, she did not turn her back. She just got her hair over her face like Cousin Ed or something like that. It's so crazy. But I'm going to put that over here. Now, somebody else could also be, dealing with maternal issues. And I try to stay so commercial and professional, but I know how it can be. It's like, what did you say about that person's mom? It happens. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But I don't know how the breakup went or the separation went. I'm gonna stop. Okay, let me stay focused. Now, how can you grow from this? In my mind, Spirit said patience. That was it. I ain't got to get into nothing else. But this is also being in it for the long haul. That brings you some sort of growth where you move out of the maiden energy into the mother. You see that? I almost missed that. I wasn't gonna miss it. Thank you, Spirit. It's like moving out of this, like I said, first phase energy, right? Where you are emotional, and it's given like the Knight of Cups energy, where it's just like our feelings, our heart, love, but other worldly factors or, spiritually contractual issues or any lenience, it's not really there. And that's okay. I think that's fine. That's very human. That's very feminine. But the opposite of you, right? Whether they're the masculine, the dominant, if they're the feminine, or if it's a man or woman, it doesn't matter. We just have differences, especially with Gemini energy starting us off. And then this lovely, fruitful, optimistic, emotional energy. That's two different, vibes or whatever. So when she grows, she's developed patience, and this is more of the 3D energy that allows for us to maneuver through emotional challenges and things of that nature. Okay. I'm trying to word it properly and be like status quo. Spirit said, don't do that. Just say it. Right. So it's just like, I don't know, being a little bit more flexible. Now, I don't know what they did. Don't beat me up. Don't say, I. Just hear me out. What this situation helps you grow with and through, like I said, your patience. Okay. It also talks about not accepting anything short of commitment. Okay. Because you are the bride to be chosen. And I feel like whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing, whatever you did, whatever you said, I feel like this person's going to come in on that horse. Look at that. See, when I walked away, you was like this, but the next time I come to you, it's because you're like that. And that could sound, I see how that could come off like, oh, back then you didn't want me. Now you all love me. It is not toxic like that, I don't think, but I feel you if you felt that, but it ain't that. So don't feel that. All right, let me scoot you back a little bit. Okay. Now, the main challenge, okay, is this break, this rest, this time of resolve. You hate that. They hate that. Somebody strongly dislikes being in separation. It's like the Queen of Cups is Pluto and Scorpio energy. So I can say that there may be moments where she has no chill. And I'll just stop it there. So when someone is ignoring you, or when you really want to say something or know something, you may be more expressive or take it more personally, emotionally than someone else. Okay. Now, this also talks about the resting phase. So the main challenge is that must be a lot of love for your biggest challenge to be. Your biggest challenge is being away from this person, or kind of like being in separation and letting things rest. That, or not having trust. Okay. It's like not trusting the intuition and having a lot of like negative energy. I don't even want to say the words to put them in your, in your mix. But it could be hard to just say, I'm going to give it some time and let it rest. That could be hard for some of you. Now, what I love about the bright side is if you have experienced a breakup, it's not a breakup. It's confirmed. I'll stand 10 toes on it that it's a temporary situation. I also know that you guys came in energetically together. And I feel that you resolve this matter and return together. But the path is not like the average person's or relationship. It involves spiritual cleansing. It also involves your past life energy, right? And things that come up to the surface through this relationship that could be the benefit or have hindered you guys in the past. I love that y'all got the Lovers, and Spirit knows my heart because this is a local artist. I think he's from New York, and I got his deck off of Etsy. And I love these cards because I feel like the entire deck is about them, right? They're in this together. Like that could even be her. She's also in like the Two of Swords. She's in every girl card, really. And this is literally him, the guy who made these cards. He's a photographer. So long story short, because I felt and knew that you guys were going to have some good news, I wanted to be able to see y'all together, and Spirit got this card. I ain't gonna hold you. So you see me cheesing, right? Or you hear me cheesing. So I think that that's super cool. I feel that the final decision has not been made by the person, even if you're in separation. I also feel like even if you disagree with me being about to say this, because I know sometimes the Queen of Cups is loving and, patient, but when she turned her back, and if she done elevated to the Empress energy, you could be sitting there right now saying it's a no-go, right? But this Judgment card and this little person right here is a little bigger than y'all. So if Spirit tells me that it's not over yet. It's probably not over yet, but I was so excited. So this is the bright side is that it's not over. So I love that for you guys. We're going to sit these right here. I want these together. Okay. So boom, boom, there. Urgent messages for you. I sat with this for a minute because I noticed you got the moon card, and maybe that was because it was blank. So that's why I sat with it. But she is the moon, right? 2. And then here is the water being poured out. So it's like an urgent message for you has something to do with why she's pouring this out and why the Empress came. So let me tell you a little bit about it. If you look closely, she's pouring the water out into a plant, which means she's staying grounded and using her emotions usefully. Now, I'm not trying to be funny or get beat up, but it's something about the situation where one person could feel that the other person is a bit sensitive, or has like a childlike mindset when it comes to love, and they have this Gemini, Knight of Pentacles energy. For some, that's not for everybody, but for some of you, so it's kind of like maturing, letting something mature, let whatever transpired, because I'm getting like 10 of cups now. When you pour out the bad blood, it's like letting it rest to resolve, right? If you have any other projects, hobbies, or interests, I know that the Empress is a seamstress. So it's like she's taking this junk that she didn't want and she's doing something positive with it by putting it in this plant. So it always grows. So it's like, I have so much love. Maybe you have so much love to give, right? Boom. And it's something that I left out too. Let me go back before I get off of your urgent message. I noticed that I don't want her to sit here so long pouring water into this cup. And if you say, why not? Well, because I'm intuitive and I pay attention. And I noticed all of this water, like she done been here so long pouring out water. Yes, she was doing something constructive and useful. Yes, she may be productive, but it's like, that's a lot. Right. And again, we do have Gemini here. We do have this temporary break here, and we don't want to make matters worse. So I wanted to point that out, where it went from doing something productive with it to it was a lot. And that's abundance as well. So there's that. Okay. So yeah, because I was like, Spirit, I wasn't feeling anything, especially negative. And I know that the little page of cups is our emotions and maybe communicating that. So there's some hidden feelings. That's the urgent message to you. If you just like, this person is XYZ element of P, well, there's some hidden feelings that you may not know about. There's also hidden feelings in you if you feel like, right? So that's between y'all. I love it though. You guys are probably meant to do something together. And then for your how to get them back, you have the well. Okay, right. It's like, don't put the emotions like all over the place. She was just pouring it out, child. She just pouring. She done started a little river in the town. Then you got a license to be making a pool in that backyard like that. But the emotions are contained here, right? And it also says to keep building this project, this productivity, your abundance, which is energy. It's not always just finances, because you can have $1 million but can't get out of the bed. And what kind of life would that be? So continue to build, because look, this little aquanaut here, right? It's like, all this water that we're talking about, I'm built for it, right? You're a professional at that, right? The emotions, the water, how you feeling, other people's feeling, and look at all the water in the background. It's like literally the ocean. So it's still doing something productive with these feelings. There could be a person involved in this situation that feels their relationship has to be productive. Like we got to do something, or it has to mean something. It has to matter. So if you want to get this person back, truly, because I'm on your side. Some people could say, if I have to do all this and that, I just want somebody who just fall at my feet, fall in my lap. It's like, but this person could be really special to you, or this situation could be something you manifested, and maybe you don't want to start all over again. And then keep in mind that this is some super galactic old school soulmate we're talking about. So I get that, but staying productive and doing something with it. Okay, I like that. All right, if you're into transmutation, and like energy, magnetism, manifesting, you got Uriel and Gabriel and everybody that's sacral chakra lit, so having the energy, because we don't be having the energy. But this is definitely doing something productive with it. I also feel like it's wish fulfillment, and I feel like they're gonna, I don't like that a lot. It's not that. It was the same thing I said when we go from here to here type deal. You see whose arm it is. It's his arm. Okay. He was probably emotionally immature. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Spirit said, accept the offer. Okay. So here it is. It took a long time, right? Somebody changed. Something's different. That's crazy. Look at that. I was just going on and on, because I'm loving this. I hope the next group is just as lovely, but if they're not, I'm going to give it to them raw. Don't worry. Accept the offer. That's a big offer too. For others of you, right? Because I know it's not 10 million of y'all and just like one storyline, even though it could be. Self-love is the best love. Care for yourself. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Aesthetics, emotions, what you want to do, your claim of fame. Now, this was interesting, and I'm going to shuffle you guys out some oracle cards and then get to your answer right here, right? Remember that? We're going to flip that over too. Now, will they return? Here is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords says for me to look back at the challenge. The challenge was, I think, the third card, and the third card was the Knight of Pentacles. So it's gonna take some time. They're gonna come in slow, and it's not gonna be like this big grand gesture that you'd like in this Ace of Cups, because it's this person, right? Not like a king or whatever. It's this person bringing in this big cup, and that's cool. It has a lot of potential for what you want, but Spirit is like, y'all probably got the best reading in this whole, what we finna talk about. I don't know yet though. And it's like, but I'm not gonna like overgas it. So it's a huge offer, but it's like still a person who's going to take their time to get to where you want you guys to be ultimately. Just know that it's not over. That's all you came here for though, because you want me to just go into, oh girl, where it's gonna go and what. Spirit said, no, they're kind of content with that. Oh, okay, cool. They happy. All right. Well, you should be, right? Because I chose for Virgo season your the Green Witch Oracle, because like I said, you guys just had some good energy. I'll just say that. And so when I looked at it, I saw focus, and you did have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of that deck. So I was just like, okay, keep talking. So I feel like the new moon energy that just shifted, I feel like September overall is about you directing your attention, eliminating distractions, and narrow your vision and prioritize what truly matters. So just like you want this person to return, focus your intentions and your energy on that, right? Them returning, that's it. Not not any static. Polish up and make adjustments. And it specifically refers to like a gardener. And notice she's watering this plant. So this Ace of Pentacles, you want that energy to shift, because maybe y'all came together at once and then something led you guys astray. The energy may have shifted. So highlighting the pink and the femininity, that is also going to help you guys, as well as routine habits, refining your habits, and relationships that best serve your path. Okay. Now I saw energy and I couldn't stop looking, because it also has focus your energy. So not only are we focusing our energy on us, right, and polishing up, it also talked about hope, like what you want out of this situation. And I was just like, okay. I'm liking where this is going. So I got so excited right after I saw this. I saw happiness and love, and then I channeled happy tears. So I was like, oh my God, I don't even have a person in this situation, but I was just like, who wouldn't want that? Like, group 2, y'all got happy tears. And I said that because an onion came out. It was an onion, and then you guys got happiness and love. So I was just like, oh my God, happy tears. So your answer to your question, look at this. You see that? It's on its way to you. So I imagine how I feel that these cards were shuffled out before I started the reading. When I did your introduction and your crystal and your decks were selected, I shuffled out the final answer card and I peeked. So, and I had to sit here this whole time trying to hold water to get the gist of the message, but I knew. I just could say, because I'm not gonna gaslight you or like do no clickbait or whatever, but look at that, honey. I was just so excited this whole time. So I hope you liked the video, and you have to come back and leave a comment, tell us how it went. Okay, pile 3, let's get started. If you skipped past your crystal card selection, the pink amethyst crescent moon, the first thing that came to my mind was, it looks a bit different than you would think, right? The colors vary, because I have seen them look more of like a lilac, and this one comes off, you can't even really see it because some things are better in person. It's given it's not given lilac, right? My point is, I said there's something about the situation that's like not what it seems, or something's unclear. It's just a little bit different. But I love the interpretation of letting you guys know in the intro that this is even sweeter and softer than rose quartz, because rose quartz, we all know, is very healing and loving and high vibrational. So this is a very amazing crystal, and it's very unique. So there's something mystical about this situation. I feel like you could be very dreamy and intuitive, or there's a story about a softening of the heart for you or the other person. And there's also some hidden truths or subconscious patterns in this situation. Okay, because this particular deck will point that out for us. The messages are usually your dreams, intuition, and symbols hold the answers. So I'm going to make sure I get you guys some angel numbers. Yeah. I'll make sure you guys get some angel numbers. You also have your answer card. So go ahead and set the intentions. That's a very specific question that we ask that was pre-shuffled at the beginning of the reading. And I will go over that with you momentarily. But we'll get started with the reading, and I'm going to sit your crystal here. Now, the intentions, as stated, are the lesson in the situation, their side of the story. How can you grow from this? The main challenges, the bright side, any urgent messages for you, how to get them back, and ultimately, will they return? So let's get started with your messages. All right. Now, I did shuffle the cards, and I wanted to point out before we get started that this is an eternal love. Okay. I feel this to my core. It has life force and it has the Ankh. So it's very ancient. Okay. You guys may have even shared a past life together, or something very spiritual about this union. This is also the symbol sometimes used for the emperor. So of course we have a boss. Okay. In your eyes or their eyes, the Emperor is here, could be connected to Aries or like alpha male, like alpha energy, right? What I love about the energy, okay, as we get into answering your questions, anyone in a relationship with an Emperor, I could even have some people here that may be dealing with a person who's, moved on into a marriage or another relationship. Not many of you, but that just came in real quick. The Emperor relationship is something that really magnifies your strengths, have you questioning yourself as well, because you want to live up to the expectation of the Emperor. And for some reason, maybe because of who they are, their status, or just their demeanor, you want to fit that, right? And you wouldn't have attracted this person if you couldn't, or if it weren't necessary for whatever your life purpose is. So I think that that's super dope. 10s are also symbolic to like cycles, things that start, end, and start, end, and start. And it's like an ending with a beginning. You have the 1 and the 0. Okay. So I thought that was very unique. It could be symbolic for you as far as the symbol, because Spirit did point out at the beginning of the video to make sure that you guys pay attention to the symbols. And I don't think anybody else got that message so far. So group 3, make sure you guys pay attention to the symbols. And your first one is the little Ankh here. Okay. All right, Ankh. Now, as I said that, I swear that's crazy. You have the number 12, the 12th house, very spiritual, Neptune, Pisces energy, also connects to the Hangman, which is the one destined to do something. There's a sacrifice that comes with it. And ultimately, I feel like there's some of you here that'll give any and everything or all that you got for this to work. I think this card points out that you guys may just be going through a phase. So I thought that that was kind of cool. Now, I couldn't stop looking, because who would see coins in abundance and then go elsewhere? Okay, so I'll sit this one here for you to remind you that this situation, it's just a phase. It's just a cycle. All right. It's even given like kind of like eclipse kind of energy. So be mindful of that time. Now you have abundance on one end and coins on the other. I don't know why, right? But it made me think of the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. And what do they have in connection? I feel like it's a wife. All right. It's someone who's supportive to that big boss energy that I was referring to, but also someone who is confident and can do without. It's not a very emotional energy. It helps to be grounded. It's very necessary for you to recover this relationship by being grounded, because I feel like you being your best or standing in your power could be most attractive to them. But there is abundance and some sort of prosperity that comes out in this situation, regardless of what answer we get, okay, at the end of the video. And I think that that's super cool, because nobody else got that either, I don't think. Now, music and joyfulness was more of a challenge, okay? Stop listening to sad songs. That does not help us. It's not good for your energy, okay? I also feel that because, and you can see, oh my God, I remembered, I didn't even know it was, the number was upside down in reverse. It was just a feeling that I had that this was like a challenging issue, okay? Happiness could also be a factor. And I don't think that you guys were not happy with each other. I feel like there were other areas that may have felt incomplete, that may have contaminated the relationship. And then it just came to mind. You remember Stranger Things, where the girl would listen to music to soothe, some issues that she was having. So for others of you, if you're not, listening to sad songs on repeat, maybe listening to your favorite songs and stuff like that is advisory from Spirit. But balance is definitely necessary in the situation, for one reason or the other, because it came up in multiple cards in another deck. So without further ado, okay, start answering your questions, and I'll zoom in to let you see that. Aren't they beautiful? So see if you see any symbolism or whatever. Okay. Now, the lesson in this situation is the burning question. So for some of you, that's like almost the most important thing. It tells me about a very magnetic connection that you guys have that's energetic. Like even when you guys are apart, it's very strong. So you and this person have very strong, I don't want to say feelings, but there's something that pulls at both of you about the other person. Now, the lesson, if this is challenging, it's energy. It could be anger. It's that alpha energy. It's definitely fiery. So I feel that if I have some reincarnated lovers here, you guys are going through lessons that have to do with what binds you, the things that frustrate you. And it's very important to balance that out. So we'll see what's going to balance out that fiery energy. I feel like it has a lot to do with communication, intelligence, and like receiving. So that requires a level of patience and also just being stern. Okay. Now their side of the story, right? You got 2 hands and 2 stars. Okay. Now the hands are symbolic to the receiving. All right. I don't know who's giving. I don't know who's receiving, but that's not how they see it. Now, I've done thousands, okay, probably 100,000 tarot readings. And usually when 6 pentacles comes up, it's a supportive energy or doing some reflecting on what's being put in and taken out of the relationship, be it financially or in your guys' case, possibly energetically. So maybe even someone else's intentions. Okay. But with the abundance card here, for some of you, it could ultimately be money. Now with the Ankh here or life force, it also tells me that this person is aware or not aware, right? Because it's possibly a challenge of the connection that you guys have. Like you both are stars, not just this one alpha like energy. And they may need to learn, teamwork and also come into the realization that this could be, one of those infinity. Because I heard that song, I'm going to love you to infinity. Yeah. I don't want to butcher their song. But that is tied into the situation. And you would think with that sort of energy, there will be more cups in your guys' reading, but you got pentacles and you got fire. So it's just like how one person sees it or how one person is different from the other person. This card also in a shadow energy refers to like someone refusing to see something. Materialism could come up, and it also is connected to like financial embarrassment. So if they're not, fully what you see in them, like you have these big aspirations and inspirations, like who you think they are, they could have some insecurities about living up to that. But of course, they wouldn't tell you that because they came in strong as the emperor, but there's some juggling. Okay, maybe they have a lot going on. Now, Spirit said, okay, if you have children with this person, you could have 2 kids. That's very interesting. Their side of the story that could be connected to that. Now, how you can grow from this, that balance, okay, the balance that we were referring to, and your absolute perfection. Like you can transmute this energy, the mystery, the confusion, because you feel some pretty deep feels, and you can use this to embody yourself into perfection. And I know people say, oh, no one's perfect, but this situation pulls the things that may be, holding you back or hindering you. So learning the lesson and, making the changes you for the better. Okay. So I think that that's pretty dope. It's like a win-win situation. Now, the main challenge, okay, that hurt right here. The main challenge is a truth that someone is refusing to see. And it also talks about the pain and the heartbreak involved in the situation. Now, I don't like pain and heartbreak when we're almost binded to a person through eternity. And I just don't want to really experience, or anyone else to experience, what it feels like to have like a soulmate that's eternal. this fire is forever burning, but you're in separation, dealing with a breakup or not together. That is the most challenging that some of you guys are facing. And I am so sorry to hear that. So the heartache and pain, I feel like, is the worst part, regardless of why you're actually separated or any other clues involved. But it's the heart, okay? The heart and possible endings. Like if other people are involved in your situations and however they got the entanglement, the way the entanglement got untangled. Okay. How do you process pain, and can you transmute it? If you know for a fact that every lifetime you come back with this person, or even in this lifetime, how can you utilize the energy that this person gives you? Because y'all definitely like got some strong energy, using that to benefit, you. So that's kind of cool, actually. Now, the bright side, okay? The bright side for some of you is that this situation could lead to marriage, but it will take a lot of work. And that's also a part of an urgent message for you. But for the most part, the bright side is that it works out for better or for worse when it comes to perfection, ultimately, as well as consistency. Okay. So that there's something that comes out of it. And it's pretty much mastery and perfection. So you come out mastering something that was very important toward your purpose, you and your person. Now, the urgent message was the Hierophant, but I loved how the 8 of Pentacles kind of like sat with the Hierophant. And I'm also noticing, okay, that like you have 3 swords, there's also 3 crowns here. So it's like there are multiple energies or principles in your guys' situation that have a big benefit on some sort of like soul change or shift, if that makes sense. Your belief systems, and not, religiously or like political. It's just like how you perceive things, how you look at things, what you think, things that are embedded into your soul. Like, for example, if you have an idea, your ideologies, there it goes. Your ideologies could shift. There's possibly someone that has like a my way or the highway kind of energy, where you have to make a decision on if you can, play a more supportive role with a person who feels that, they're, the boss or whatever. So that's interesting. If you have strong pulls to spirituality or an individual soul path, the Hierophant is a reminder for you to, with a microscope, look at how you perceive marriage and the balance within it. Okay. So that's very interesting. But there's a change in the demographic of marriage. So it's possible that for some of you, there is a new energy, a new person, or an actual like a 3D marriage that could happen. But it's just, will you allow it with the 3 of Swords? So that's a tricky thing. Like, will you allow this new energy to come in, even if it's the same person, differently? Will you allow the relationship? And if a new person comes along, like, where is your heart at? And that's so consistent with how you get them back. Okay. That's toxic. Okay. This just came in. Getting them back is you standing in your power and setting healthy boundaries and going for that legitimate marriage or situation that has more momentum. I'll just say that if things have been stagnant and on repeat, feeling almost karmic in the original relationship you came in this reading about, this is also allowance and receiving. The Queen of Wands always sits to receive, and what she receives is the sword. The sword is clarity, truth, confirmation or the communication if you guys hadn't spoke. Now, if there's any blocks that attracted this on either end, that could have been the third sword. This is also the healing energy that moves the third sword to the four of swords, where, you know, there's victory. Okay. And for some of you, it very well could be. But I like that. So standing, look at that. There's some sort of change that this situation could bring about in you. And I'm going to sit her right next to Temperance. Now, if you have a lot of Queen of Swords energy, same thing. Okay. To put a little bit more passion, a little bit more fire in there, a little bit more attraction, you know, would help. And for your will they return, I thought this was crazy because look, that's exactly what they want. Like the last thing that I said. That's crazy. So another funny thing, okay, because I always have like little funny things. The Emperor energy, because the Emperor didn't come up, mind you. So don't take this to heart or wrong if it doesn't immediately resonate. The Emperor is usually married. Okay, so unless you came into this reading and you're asking about a person you've been married to or that's married to somebody else, that energy, I feel like that's where the juggling comes in at. Now, the King of Wands, on the other hand, represents a good husband. The Emperor represents an already husband. So that's a message for whoever in regards to will they return. If you're married or have been married to a person, or there's like this long history with somebody, being a better husband could be significant. And this Page of Cups here just says that they'd have to give more or give up something. Somebody has to give up something or offer more. Very interesting. But what's funny is how I've started telling you guys about this alpha energy, Aries, Emperor, is really this, that makes a lot of sense. The King of Wands for me, I don't know about for you, is the alpha male. This is my epitome of masculinity card. So where we talked about the change, the refusing to see, as well as any financial embarrassment or gaining some sort of momentum, getting into, you know, husbandship or whatever. They're just making the necessary sacrifices with this Eight of Pentacles and this little Page of Cups right here. So that's not bad. That's not bad. You guys may change too and go through phases of they really do it for you and then they don't. You know what I mean? So there's that on that. All right. Now I did say because that's just enough room for your angel number, and then we'll get to some oracle cards for you. See if we got an angel message. I saw 25. Okay, somebody got also 5. I think that's that Hierophant energy. Look, with 33 as well, and it says I'm expanding. So I think that's a message from them. Could be. Okay, it talks about positive changes. Maybe they're working on projects and or just their expectations on what they want to provide is what they're working on. The card that you guys got, however, is still the King of Wands, that pioneer energy. The 19 connected to the sun, masculine energy again. But it's independence and self-sufficiency. That's what they would admire from you. And I think that could also be what you admire in them. Feel free to interchange the roles. It's a necessity. Okay. It's a must have. So they're trying to gain that, or there's an area of your life that would benefit from it on your end. It talks about being extremely capable in life and in work. So here we have work. And aren't afraid to take big risks to achieve the life that they desire. So you can have the life that you desire and don't be afraid of it. Okay, so we have that there. I want to make sure you guys can see all your stuff. All right. Now, me and Spirit went back and forth about the oracle cards that you guys would get, and these were chosen. Okay. So let's see additional messages from Spirit before we get to your answer card. Because no, I haven't forgotten. Okay, here we go. Oh, not you, my rib. They're going to eternal life. Didn't like Adam and Eve? And that's nice. But we have, look at that word, expansion. And look at this, core values. Okay, so I didn't even bring that up. Thank you, Hierophant. Core values. All right. And that's significant for someone that has been hurt often by a person that you came into this reading and they're on your mind. That could be an urgent message from Spirit too. Like something we're refusing to see through this heartache and pain or action. What are your core values? Like, is this person really in alignment with that? Flexibility and expansion came up, as well as structure, because we talked about the Emperor. And you also have caged. I think intuitively you'll know how you feel. Okay. Now, somebody who wants independence and to be liberated, who feels caged, I don't know if that Queen of Swords energy is the best. That could be where the work is needed to become, like I said, more of that, what I talked about. So just watch the video again. Now, the King of Wands is connected to the Ten of Wands, which burdens, responsibilities, what we do for everybody. I'm an authority figure and I got big goals and dreams. But look at this. It says doing and being. So that's still significant with the core values, what we think they are, what they actually are. Okay. But I'll just say shoulders. Okay. I don't want to be toxic, but y'all know y'all see it. Okay. And we'll put your, I don't know why the ribs just went right there. Dang, look at that. It went right over there with her. Are we flexible or rigid? I don't know. Not my business. Now, bottom of the deck was family issues. So if there are burdens and stuff like that, we got family issues, but there is a feeling of guilt. Okay. So there's that. You also have sacred initiation. So those of you that are in separation because we learning and all that kind of stuff. And as I said that, you got the toes. Balance. Oh my gosh. I said that's like your bread and butter to the situation. Balance is gonna have you reflect on, are they even worth this video? It'll also have you reflect on any improvements you can make if they are worth it. Okay. Now, if they did something, balance is needed. All right. So was our grip too tight? Were you supposed to draw that sword? Possibly. That's your guys' story to tell. But we have balance, stability, progress, which I love, vulnerability, which the Queen of Swords has to make a decision about having. And we have details. So I knew there was a little bit of toxicity here because the phrase, the devil is in the details, reign supreme or whatever. So the intricate little parts. Okay. Very important. They small, but mighty, those toes. Without them, there would be no balance. So there's something small that makes a big deal in the situation. And honestly, if it's not finances, I just feel like it's a lot of that, either the alpha energy, or this grip. Okay. So, that was that. Now for your answer cards, it says, unveil your truth. So reflecting on the question that I asked you about, are they worth this video? And I also feel like this amplified alchemy, this energy that moves you into perfection, this relationship does something for your soul path. Are we like, how's that going? Right? So will they return? It says, unveil your truth. Will they? I don't know. You got the number 19 over there though. That the sun is connected to a yes card, but there's a lot going on over here. So However you take that intuitively, whatever you get from it, I do hope for the best though for you, however that works out. And don't forget to leave us some comments. Come back and let me know what happened, child. Give us some deets. Okay, give us some deets in the comments if y'all want to talk about it, and just take a look over your cards to see if you get any other pulls. Okay, but thank you guys for tuning in with us today. You are appreciated. I see morning dew. I took one look at you. Hey, and it was plain to see. You're my destiny. I'm laughing because I was picking you guys' oracle cards and I said, Spirit, give me a picture. And literally this picture came up. So it's the morning dew renewal. That's good news. We ain't even started yet. So that's what we have. It says, I awaken the promise of a fresh start, cherishing the delicate wonders that dawn brings to my journey. So maybe we're just going through a little bit of a dark night. Okay. Or but we're going to shuffle these out and pop some of them up in just a moment. I just had to get that out. Now let's get to the actual structure. Okay. I don't want to spoil you guys because nobody else got a greeting song. Now, if you skip the introduction, right, I just want to reiterate the crystal selection because these are all my little babies. So I just like to show them off, and you chose it. The white highlight, this is one of the Reiki stones. Like, actually, all of them are. Okay. But this one specifically, if you go to a store, they'll implement that into their selling point. It's calming, it's grounding, it's restorative. It amplifies healing energy and connection to your spirit guides. So some of you guys may be like really, really deep into your mission and your journey, as well as the reflection cards. These are some no nonsense, real deal is how I say it. Now, they're not brutal at all, but they're for the advanced. Okay, I'll say that. So the power kind of emphasizes on healing, and don't get triggered by this word, but closure as well. And what the relationship mirrors back to you. It takes a very mature person to intuitively be guided to healing on a master or professional level, as well as being open to receiving information about closure if it's needed. Now, we will get to your answer card because all of your groups got a card shuffled out before the readings began, and we'll go over it in just a moment. But we'll tell the story in the meantime, and I think that that's super cool. So you'll get your intuitive, what you came for, that highlights whether a reunion happens or not. And self-mastery and inner peace is also very important. 4 or 2, because I was going to say 2, some of you, but this could also be like my golden healers because I work with archangels and ascended masters and Reiki. And oh my God, this is the first video that I've done on my channel since we rebranded, or even back in the day, where I did like a little baby Reiki session at the beginning. So I hope you ain't skip all that. But I'm like an OG YouTube watcher. I know we be skipping to the part that we want, so it's no shade. And holding this card feels good. Can I just hold it the whole time? That's crazy. Ooh. So, okay, some of y'all could be my suburban babes. I ain't gonna lie, because highlight comes off as marble at times, and it's very luxurious. But holding it made me say, "Oh my God, I want highlight floors." Even though people like heated floors, and I do want like heated floors, I wonder how that would affect highlight. I wonder if it's built for that. Like you can get a heated floor and have highlight stone on top. Okay, that's okay. I'm sorry. That's just me where I was going with it. So we'll get started with the oracle. We also have tarot, and I'm gonna get some guiding messages for you as well. And one more thing. We set the intentions previously just to be really clear with spirit, to have clarity for the lesson in the situation, their side of the story. How can you grow from it? the main challenge, the bright side, any urgent messages for you, how to get them back if that's what you truly want, and will they return? Ultimately, that was your question when you were attracted to the thumbnail. So let's see, Spirit, what do we have for my beautiful group fours? Okay, and then you're going to give me these tiny words, and I was just talking about age and my eyes and stuff while we were on break. Yeah. Let me get it close to read it. The pendulum swings. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. Okay, so it's on you. That's one way to come into a reading. I know you can't see it either, so don't y'all be laughing at me being old or whatever. I'll zoom in once we get them laid out, but that is super tiny. So the pendulum swings means that you have the power to manifest this. That's good news that it could go either way. So let's talk a little bit about it. The card that came out beneath it, I'll sit that there for you. The other card, a little bit bigger font, thank you, Spirit, is a thought has no power. Oh, was I supposed to read in the verse? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. You have power. And when you identify with and believe in the thoughts, you give it power. So group 4, this is big. How do you think about this relationship? Now, of course, there's some love and care because you're here. But what dominates it? Are there some, not so perfect thoughts and some not so good feelings? Okay, because they're saying this is pretty much a modern way to say thoughts become things, and that they're not in control. You are the thinker. Okay, I don't know why I'm just like intuitively guided to, like, without shuffling, see what was underneath it. So we have slow down, and then it says react, scratch, respond. Okay, I know exactly what that means. So that just may be a personal message for someone in the audience where something could happen in the near future, and before you react, take it all in before you respond. Okay, one came out for you. You may want to check out group 1 too. Okay, that came out wrong. Like, not group 1 and 2, but I think group 1 had the circle. They had like the 2 circles with the one thing in the middle. Theirs had facts in the middle. You guys have wisdom. So I feel like what you learn from the situation benefits the both of you when it comes back together. Now, acceptance and growth could be the objective for one of you. Discomfort and contrast. That's also 2 different ways to see it. Okay. That's big. That's a principle when it comes to self-mastery. Now, if you one of my big master gurus or have an advantage, spiritually, even though your feelings and the 3D world in this relationship is involved, because I haven't had any cards that came out to say, oh, y'all both on a soul journey and this is spiritual connection where your gods and their gods, like y'all, is deep. We ain't got there yet, so I ain't sure. But I know for a fact that you are a chosen one. And how are you seeing this? Do you see it as a problem? Or have you moved into the energy of acceptance and used the entire thing for an opportunity to grow? Okay. That's major, right? That's how I knew y'all was like big wigs or whatever. All right. Just in case you're feeling it. And then whoever did this, Jesus, doesn't mean it's true. Okay, see what I'm saying? Your feelings and your thoughts and your stuff like that is really important for you, group 4. So these oracle cards just really spoke to you guys. All right. Now, let's get to the questions at hand. The lesson in this situation. What is the... Okay. Oh, yeah, I saw that, Spirit. Look, here's my sun card for confirmation. this card poked out and it went back. Ooh, how do you respond? How do you respond when you have to accept things? That's big. Okay, how do you totally having like destruction for a foundational shift. The lesson in this situation for some is as simple as saying a reality check. Gee whiz. We have Mars, we have fire energy, we have seek the change and options, investigation, and willpower. So that came out. Now all of these cards fell out with it, but I think Spirit wanted me to see that tower because I saw it, but it didn't come all the way out. Yes. Okay. Again, like, yeah, I wanted you to see it. Okay, cool. And the sun card had a 10 on it. Here's a 10. So I go ahead and dig into it. Cause we ain't gonna miss nothing. All right. So I'm gonna put that. I think that goes right here, but we're going to put that there. Okay. And you have stress, blockages, lost faith, and frustration. So are you losing faith in the situation? Is that could also be part of your acceptance? Like, I'm losing faith because I have accepted it and I feel like the personal growth is doing the work. So it's like maybe you doing all the work and you be like, you wasn't happy and it's going to pop off. Oh, look, I'm glad that I stayed here. Look at that. You have the 2 cups. This is the first time the 2 cups have come up all night. Open your heart and receive love from others. That helps. It also talks about balance, attraction, and partnership. Equality is important and the connection. So waiting, okay, and recalibration because look. Now the minute I wasn't even gonna tell their business, but the minute I said you guys got the 2 cups, because we just gonna offset those burdens with balance first off, and we're gonna have a little bit more patience and acceptance with this tower. Okay. Now, when I said you guys were the first ones to get the 2 of cups, I'll let y'all see. Did I even zoom in to let y'all see the thing? But like I told y'all, don't look at them words. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Okay, we ain't gonna worry about it. The Lovers came out. I ain't gonna tell you what group, because now you're just gonna be watching all of them, because I don't think it was group 1 that got it don't matter. But it crossed my mind. That's so funny. So let's see the differences. Here, spirit is involved. The materials aren't there. They are without anything but themselves. And this is the traditional story of, oh, this one different. Now the feminine in this situation, oh no, it's not. Okay, that's the storyline. The feminine is looking up at spirit. And the masculine is looking at the feminine. So looking at the physical versus the spiritual as we talk about principles. That's deep. But you do have the 2 cups, and behind the 2 cups was the Lovers. So there is real love here. I like that. It's just balance is necessary. Now, I think that this is like your forever person or something. I ain't mean to talk noise. Okay, forgive me, because I did say, I know you the chosen one. But I don't know if, Kojak is, I don't know who they are yet. But either this is who they are, or this is how you feel about them. And I don't take it lightly that you got the 2 cups with the Lovers. You also have the 10 of cups that I'm going to put I just don't want them by them burdens, but that's all right. We're going to work into that. Okay. You have Pisces, Gemini, Cancer, Sagittarius. You also have some natal astrological correspondence like Neptune, which still connects to Pisces and water. So the emotional outburst, okay. Yeah, because Spirit said no. Okay, cool, but you got fire and Mars, by Neptune and Pisces. And I don't see passive aggression here. But Spirit said, don't say that. I don't want y'all getting mad at me. All right. Okay. Spirit said, don't. All right. Cool. Well, let's get to this. You have belonging, happiness, lasting, success, and home. Also feeling blessed, generosity, and contentment. I think that was perfect. Contentment when we're emotionally overwhelmed. And it also talks about somebody possibly being in the in-between if you're having any issues on the home life forefront. So it's like a lot going on, the burden. So it's like, how am I supposed to have a relationship when, yeah. You know what I mean? And those are someone's beliefs, right? That you gotta be whole, okay, before we become halves or whatever. It says, understand your beliefs and values as well as boundaries. And then we have the energy of the unexpected conflict. And it also talks about movement. So where we were stuck, there is movement in the near future, which is great. And I feel like this is the ultimate lesson because it's the number 10 right before you get the crown, right? I'm moving to the court cards where there's some acceptance, contentment, and containment. Okay. But the instability shifts. That was problematic. So wow, I forgot like where we even were. That was like deep. Let's see how many we got. I was like, the main challenge, the lesson, how you grow. Was that the bright side? It was the main challenge, the tower. Maybe Spirit just gave me all of them. Did I ask for the bright side? I'm going to do it just in case. I think the bright side was the Two of Cups and the Lovers. Oh, look at that. That's the bright side. Open your heart and receive the emotions around you. The bright side is new feelings, new friendship, pleasure, self-love, and unconditional love. You also have the one. So that's the bright side that maybe this is the one. We got that water right here. And it's contained and it's runneth over, child. So you got 10, you got 2 cups, 10 cups, and the Ace of Cups. I think I like that. Urgent messages. Let me see. Something was sticking out. I got the Fool card. I just want to see what it says. Oh, Spirit said, no, don't worry. Okay. Urgent messages. I heard rage and impulse. Okay. You can always call on your natural confidence, right? Sometimes that confidence rushes in like maturity or being rest assured, like kind of being unfettered by some things instead of like, bothered. But you also have stability. That's important. Foundations and control. See what I mean? We also have some organizations too. And the king of, the Hierophant is connected to organizations also. So that may be in the storyline for some of you all, legalities, but working on balancing out the rage, I think is very important, as well as your confidence is the magnetic attraction. So if there's some instability in different areas, that this could help, there may be an apology too coming from a person. And we have use your intuition to set your moral compass over here. Look, I'm going to set that integrity and those morals and stuff like that. But yeah, warmth and passion is super cool. I love that for you guys. Okay. Now, how you get them back, I feel like has something to do with warmth and compassion, as well as possibly this apology, this balance, doing what's right. Spirit is like, yep, that's it. Okay, cool. Will they return? I feel like they'll be a totally different person. Now, some of you, if there's married people can rekindle their romances. And then I feel like those of you where there's separation, you get communication. So I don't know if they fully return, but if they do, the only way this person returns is with divine intervention. I'm not going to hold you. You change, they change, but I think it's them. Others of you, in time, right? Divine intervention, divine timing, there may be some communication from someone who kind of like, went their own way. All of life's answers are within you. And then after that, you got the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is a yes. So it's like you already know it, but have the strength to, be patient for this new beginning. Okay. I thought that was kind of cool. Now, your oracle cards, if we have any room for them, let's see what we have. Because that little doe was like, I see morning dew. I took one look at you. Slow down. I just want to get to know you. Y'all gonna have to get to know each other like all over again. It's not gonna be the same. You have the Coral Cove's wisdom, the number 17 connected to the star card. Also a yes. With the wisdom of ages guiding me, I move gracefully through life's currents with a greater perspective. So a change in perspective and some grace to that tower over there. I love that. The little tortoise. What else do you have? You have, look, and as I talked about grace and that tower and all that, I think this line is just coming out to confirm that. But with divine guidance and my own resourcefulness, I harness the power to turn challenges into opportunities. So I think that that's pretty dope and would definitely help us with those bird dons over there. Lastly, the rainbow droplets. To have some joy, I play with the droplets of life, embracing my youthful side as I open my eyes to the colors around me. That's what I love. Hello, that is so beautiful and pretty. Okay, let's go there. All right. Any other messages from Spirit? I think we do have room in your reading for my favorite. Don't y'all just love these? Let's see what we have for you guys. Additional messages from Spirit. Okay, I saw this. Okay, no, I didn't. That wasn't the one I saw. You have Starlings. I told you were a star child. It says, now is the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. Okay, so have you been hermiting this little turtle over here, Virgo season? You might be getting out a little bit more. What do we have for the Lovers and the Two of Cups over here? Because that was just like the creme de la creme for me. Oh, that's one of them lovebirds. You got the crane, so something is coming in. Doesn't the crane that's the stork. They look alike, so let me rock. Let me cook. But no, it says you will soon enter into a beneficial. Oh, okay. Let me put these together for the people in the back. You will soon enter. Okay, you see that? You'll soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity bless this union. And you're like, what union? This union. Oh my gosh. Pull up, little crane. Okay. I'm sorry I called you a stork, little crane. I'll take one more. Okay. Spirit's like, one more. Now this is the one I kept saying. I just want to be nosy. It says prosperity is flowing. Have faith that you will receive it in the perfect time. So I think that's for some of the financials that we talked about. And you did have the Justice card over here. So you got the little crow that says universal laws and truths are being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality, because it's our beliefs that kind of have us, it's over here, whatever. But anyway, what came out is grouse. Okay. Embrace the powers of dance and movement and access your highest guidance. So I love the playfulness of that. Just like my little lamb right here that Mary had. Your answer card, right? Y'all forgot about that, didn't y'all? I didn't. The answer card is speak it into existence. I just want to remind you that's not a no. And to me, anything that's not no is yes. And I do hope that it helped.